Welcome to our District 3 Walker County Commission debate, for lack of a better term tonight. I'm Ed Howell, the news editor of the Daily Mountain Eagle. We appreciate the 4 candidates coming in tonight. We regret that we will not have other debates with the other commission races because of lack of 100% participation, but we are grateful for these men coming in tonight and giving us their views. We call this a debate, maybe it's a forum. We're going to be very friendly tonight. Don't expect a lot of histrionics and wild shouting and all that. We think this is going to be a friendly debate, friendly discussion, really. We will be sort of tight for time, so we will be timing these answers and trying to keep it to a minimum roar as far as length. I regret that, but we will try to get as much in as we can. To start with, we have selected everyone by a drawing as far as who goes first and second, that sort of thing. So first we will start with, I believe, Mr. Jim Borden. If you'll each tell us in about 2 minutes a little your name and a little about yourself and why you are running.
Thank you, Mr. House. My name is Jim Borden. I'm a candidate for District 3 Commissioner. I'm 58 years old. I'm married and I have 2 children. I'm currently employed with the City of Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service. I'm a 29-year veteran with the Birmingham Fire Department. I will be retiring this spring, so if I am elected, I will be able to be a full-time commissioner for the people. I've served 8 years in the Air National Guard. I have a background in excavating work. On my days off from the fire department for the last 25, 26 years, I've worked with 2 different companies in excavating.
Thank you. Now we will go to Mr. Pate. 2 minutes.
Okay, you ready? Hello, I'm Michael Pate. I'm running for District 3 Road Commissioner. And I've lived in parish 59 years, 59-year-old. On the Mike's Barbecue down in Oatman. I've been working in the mines 39 years. I've worked on heavy equipment most all my life. Painted cars, owned a couple restaurants. I've done a lot of stuff, helped a lot of people, and good Lord's been good to me for what I've done, and He's blessed me many ways. But I wanna do things right, and got a good family, and thank you.
Okay. Next, Mr. Jason Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. Howell. My name is Jason Richardson. I'm 44 years old. Lived all 44 of those years in District 3. I work for Circle K Terminal, Alabama. I've been there since 2013. I've been in the petroleum industry since 2003. Since 2006, I've been a manager of the facility I'm at, and that's managing income and outgoing inventory, maintenance, money, employees. I've got 3 daughters that are my pride and joy. I'm trying to make our community a better place for them to come home to once they come to a point in their life where they've got to make a decision to move off or stay here. I think I'll be a great guy for the job.
Okay, Mr. Nunnelley.
I'm Bobby Nunnelley. I'm seeking a District 3 commission. I've had the experience. I was commissioner for 4 years and had, I've worked in road construction for 20 years. I worked for the biggest construction company there was in Lansing, Michigan. And so I've lived around between Parish and Oatman, about 45 years. I got 2 boys. I got my wife. She's not doing real good. She's in the nursing home, but she feels okay, and she's getting the attention that she needs. And I've done a lot of things around. I've worked in the coal business. I've worked in the drilling business. I've done just about whatever's around Walker County. I've done it. So I've had the experience in the commissioner's job. I know what to do and how to do it to start with. So that's going to be one strike for me, that I've already had that experience, and I'm the commissioner that's on the board now, they're good friends of mine, and we can work together and we can get things done.
Appreciate that from all of you. We were getting used to the video on that one, so, but everything got said that we needed to get said, I think so. But at any rate, we do want to turn first to the roads. That's what we will all want to really talk about first. I know the District 3 roads are particularly known to be in bad shape. The county says it is addressing Garniston Road this year, and Rebuild Alabama will help with the same, with the state gas tax, but much still has to be done, as we all know. What are your ideas in terms of addressing the road situation? And we will go in that same order, starting with Mr. Pate.
I think what we need to do, they got these machines, cutters. They use them in the mines cutting coal, but they're made to cut up roads. District 3 had one, and the Drummonds donated it to them. Don't know where it is or what, but we're gonna have to cut the roads up and resurface them. If we can't find that one, I done found a couple more that we can get our hands on. And we gotta get these ditches cleaned out and check the cupboards, fix them. We gotta get the water off the roads. That's the main thing right there. And that water gets in them roads, or it gets cracked in them, it goes down under them, causes potholes.
Mr. Richardson?
Pretty much the same thing, you know, get the water off the road. I've noticed that in a lot of places, in the majority of places, the ditch is actually higher than the road is. That's where we got to start at. And when we make road repairs, make them in a quality fashion, not just throw coal patch at it and slap it with a shovel and call it good. We got to get some workmanship, some quality workmanship involved in it. As far as road building or repairs goes, that's pretty much it on those. Grinding the roads, a lot of the roads are beyond repair. I say a lot of them, some of them are. And like Mr. Pate said, that would take, you know, grinding that road up and creating a good road bed to go back on top of.
Mr. Nunnelley?
Well, District 3 has got a milling machine, which I had whenever I was in there. We milled up a lot of roads and got them in pretty good shape. But they've let go now, and they're back about as bad as it was whenever I went in. So it's going to take a lot of time and effort in getting the roads fixed back like it should be. You're going to have to, just like these guys said, they're going to have to get the water off the road. They're going to have to ditch it, and it's going to have to be, a lot of them's going to have to be milled up. They just won't be, you can't repair them. I mean, and of course now you got
Talking about going to a road that's not paved at all, but just completely milled up?
Yeah, but there's a lot of them that's paved, but the half of the pavement's gone. So you got to, you can't fix those. You just have to mill them up and then get them and put them back down and pack them down, and then you can come in and repay them if you got the money. Mm-hmm. Now the money is available for the labor and the fuel and the material, but that's about all you got. You don't have no more money. I mean, you got a budget to meet, and that's the budget you're gonna have to meet. You said it at the start of the year, and if you go over that budget, you're gonna have to account for it. So you know, money's gonna be the thing about it.
Right. Ms. Borden?
All right, on our roads, our biggest thing, I'm in total agreement. We have to get the water off the roads. In the past several months, I've been out on rainy days, I've been out on sunshiny days. Our ditches, the shoulders of the roads, that is going to have to be a priority. Until you get water off the road, you will never be able to repair a road, let alone resurface roads. It is a waste of taxpayers' dollars to throw patch into a hole. The next rain comes along, the same puddle is on the same spot, water runs across the road. My goal is to have a comprehensive plan, organize the crews in wet weather, wintertime, late fall, early spring. That is the time that we are going to concentrate on opening ditches up, not do a quarter of a mile of ditch here, move to another section. If we move to a road, we go down one side of the road to the end, we come back up the other side. A comprehensive, complete shoulder cleaning, repair, open cupboards up. If we have to dig cupboards up, we will dig cupboards up, clean them out, relay them. On the money situation, it costs thousands and thousands of dollars to pave a mile of road. Our situation now is the money we have can be better spent trying to maintain what we have. You cannot begin to repair or resurface a road until the water problems are solved. There is certain things can be done within the budget. As these fellows are talking, we can go in and mill up certain roads. That is fairly cost effective, what they call the asphalt, the tar and gravel. Laying down 4 inches of asphalt, that will be in the future. We will have to have a better tax base bringing in more money. As a commissioner, I'm going to be a full-time commissioner. I believe the commissioner is going to have to go to Montgomery. I will have to get with our state senator, our local representative, go meet face-to-face with the representatives in Montgomery and lobby for money for this county and stress our dire needs for more money. Basically, we're in an emergency situation. Within another year, as the way things are running now, the roads are going to be worse than they are now. Something is going to have to be done for the coming years, and that will be to establish an emergency fund for places that are in real bad shape. Our bridges, we have culverts that wash out. There is just a gamut of problems we have, but it will come down to the money. But the water, getting the water off the roads, opening the ditches up, that will be my primary concern.
We got your technical issues so well done. Now I've got to ask follow-up questions for your answer. You did so well that time. But I was going to ask, seriously, as a follow-up question, what would you do to get more money for the roads? They keep saying there's not enough money. What would you do? He mentioned going to Montgomery. What would you all do to, and I'll start with you.
Well, that'd be the chairman handles most of that, and Mr. Short, they put in for the grants and stuff, and which, we get out here, there's a couple of women that does that too, goes for the grants too. But a lot of it's gonna be getting out there and putting some grease and work to it. You gotta get out there and use the gravel and the tire right, spread it out. My brother worked for the county 30 years, retired. Me and him's talked a lot. You gotta put 2 floor mats down and put that last coat of 74 gravel on the top, just smaller than the first 2 coats you use, or to pack down in there and pack it good. But gravel and tire right now is gonna be the most way to go.
Money situation, what would you do?
Right out the gate, we'd have to work with a grant writer, the chairman, do everything we can do to get every available dollar out there. I agree with Mr. Borden about working with the senators and representatives, and any other avenues that we could come up with.
Well, whenever I was in there, Greg Reed got me enough money to pay the road down at Shove Creek. I paid all that road with asphalt, and he got me enough money to do that, but I had to work at it. I had to get the chairman and all the commissioners to help me get it, and that's the only way we're going to be able to get money, is to get help from all the commissioners and the chairman. And we ain't got any money coming in hardly now. Coal tax is done gone. I mean, I think this last coal tax was about $1,800 a piece. So they, you ain't got no money now coming in, except some things that's going on that they've started, and it's going to take a lot of money, and you just ain't got it.
I think Mr. Richardson is next to start this, and it segues again to the finances. The county's finances in general, were thought to be bad enough a few years ago that we thought we were going to be in bankruptcy. A number of measures, plus a very good economy, has helped us stabilize the situation, but the budget remains tight, and we have something like a dozen years to pay on the bond issue. The sales tax failed, of course. Do you have any ideas on how to improve, in general, the county's finances?
To improve them tax-wise, if somebody's going to try to levy another tax, the people are going to have to see that their money's being spent wisely before they'll ever vote for it. I can't say I'm the same way. Number one, or not number one, but be more efficient with our spending, and working with the other commissioners and the chairman. I think they've done an excellent job using what they had and being efficient with it.
Mr. Nunnelley?
Well, right now, the state has passed that 10 cent on gas. There's quite a bit of money going to come in on it, but it's not going to be a whole lot. It's about $600,000, and that's got to be divided among all the districts. And of course, you know as well as I do that don't go very far. It takes about $80,000 to pay the road on gravel and stuff. Of course, they got a new method of paving now with gravel and tar, and they say it's working out real good. I didn't know it till I started running, and I found out it was doing a pretty good job. So that'll help a whole lot. And of course, you know, the county cannot pass a tax.
Sales tax, you mean?
Sales tax, it can't pass one. I mean, Montgomery has to pass it, and they will not pass one. I mean, it just ain't gonna get done because they want to stay in office. And but you know, I think that if we did pass a sales tax and could get it passed, that would be the thing to do, because you'd have a lot of money to do the things that we're talking about here now.
Borden?
All right, on our taxes, are raising more revenue. Being out on the campaign trail, I've talked to different people, and you generally begin to get a consensus of what they're thinking. Our 1 cent sales tax, from my understanding with talking with people, they voted it down because as it did not, the estimated $7 million that it was going to raise for the county, by the time the bill got out for the bill was drawn up, it came up for a vote, there were so many add-ons, the money was going to be split up. There again, we're paying an extra penny. Then we come down to hundreds of thousands of dollars in a district instead of, say, 7 million split up. Each district should have got as much as $1 million, $1.5 million out of that $7 million. Then you begin to accumulate money where you can have money for matching money. Some of our state aid roads are, it's my understanding, 80-20. If I need $1 million of paving done, if I've got 200,000, they kick the other 8 in, 800,000. If I have a $300,000 or $400,000 budget, there's not a lot of matching money there. On the gas tax, that gas, our first 6 cents, estimated to raise around $400 million, give or take, for the state of Alabama. In another year, we get 2 more cents, and then 2 years, 2 more cents, for a total of 10 cents. We are looking at the state coming into an extra $750 million, possibly up to $1 billion extra dollars. That money needs to be accessed using our legislatures, our senators, them to go down and say, Walker County, we've got y'all a $250,000 out of that amount of money is a failure on their part. We are going to have to put pressure on our politicians. But the commissioner's job is to get out, pinch the taxpayer's dollar, and go and try to get those dollars himself. A commissioner can go to Montgomery and lobby for money.
Mr. Pate?
I agree with him on a lot of that stuff. But to get more taxes. No, we got people moving out of this district on account of the roads being so bad now. We can get people in here, get these roads straightened out, and there'll be more people wanting to come in here. We got the lakes and the rivers down there and the creeks, and all that needs to be cleaned up. And who wants to ride down the road and see garbage dumps everywhere? I think these people down here, well, I will just say the inmates need to be out working and cleaning up garbage.
Y'all just keep reading my mind, and that was the next question.
Well, I mean,
So,
I
did
think-
we get to you? Where did we start with on the finance? Yeah, we started with you.
You started with me.
Yeah. So, Mr. Nunnelley, we'll start with you on the litter and illegal dumping has been a concern not just for aesthetics, but for how it gets in the way of mowing, of environmental problems, and health threats such as needles being thrown out. Moreover, we now have concern about the Republic landfill in East Walker, not Dora. The mayor of Dora has told me it's not in Dora, it's outside Dora. So let's be careful, it's in East Walker. But there's questions and concerns about the Republic landfill in East Walker, and it now looks to be closed in 5 years, seriously, which could lead to higher costs and fees. Currently, garbage service is not mandatory, and illegal dumping could get worse at that time. What are your thoughts about litter, illegal dumping, and also the situation on where to dump our garbage in 2025?
Well, first of all, I fought that thing for 4 years. Just about every commissioner meeting, I brought it up about the garbage being thrown out. And I tried to get a bill passed to put a 10-cent tax on all these jacks and all of them that was finding their cups out on the road. But they said you can't do that. Well, I didn't know, and they wouldn't do it, so we had to just get out and pick it up. I used to, every Saturday, I'd go out and pick up garbage on my road and try to get them cleaned up. And now, the judge and all of them says that they'll fine them if they'll find something in the garbage that they throw out. They'll fine them in $500. If they'll start doing that, they get a few of them tickets and they'll quit throwing the garbage out. And of course, the landfill, now, I understand, and I worked on that some whenever I was in there. There's a lots of different people that owns that property and all that property over there. Well, they're going to try to close it, but I don't really believe they will close it. I believe we'll have an opportunity to make a deal with them before it's over with.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Borden, Borden is next. Tell me about the litter, legal dumping, and the Republic landfill, and what you think should be done.
Okay. All right, our litter problem, yes, there's laws against littering in the county and in the state. We do need to pursue a more aggressive law enforcement in trying to curtail or stop the illegal dumping. I was at the county commission meeting this past Tuesday, and I heard some of the commissioners bring up they are starting to work on initiatives to go into the schools. Illegal dumping is almost a systemic, a learned behavior. They are suggesting coming up with a program. Go into the schools at an early age, maybe elementary or middle school. Come up with a program, educate the young ones. Then as they grow up, maybe they'll scold mom and dad when they see them throw something out the window. Community cleanups. We have different organizations in the county. Our schools, just a number of different things that we could come up with. That there's no easy answer, quick fix for that problem. But it's something that will have to be addressed, but we really need to work on it as a society and stop this problem of illegal dumping and littering. I tell people all the time, I live on the Gardeners Gin Road. I tell them it takes the length of time to eat a 2-piece Jack's meal is from the time they leave Jack's at the hospital till they get to my section of the road, that's where the box comes out. It's just an observation I've made over the years. But on the landfill, we have approximately 5 years. The landfill needs to be addressed now. You need to be proactive. I've done a little research. I went back and read the old newspaper articles, all the way back to 1995, I believe it is. There's 3 entities involved in this: a citizens organization, the Walker County Commission, and Republic itself. Those 3, to extend this dump past 2025, will take an agreement between all 3 parties, it's my understanding. We will have to get with the other 2 parties involved in this and work nonstop. Don't wait 2 years, 4 years from now. We need to be working on this problem that's coming up now. We don't need it to become like our roads, just from neglect, and then tomorrow, hey, we've got to do something. Work on it now.
Okay, Mr. Pate?
Yeah, I think that, Mr. Nunnelley's right on that, finding them, catch them throwing it out. Need to go through the garbage, see if you can find out who's throwing it out, find them. And where most of the high spots is, they put cameras out. You put cameras out to catch them. And on the dump, yeah, if there's 5 years left, we'll have to get on the ball, get something going on it.
Nothing breaks my heart more than seeing an illegal dump site. We have some beautiful countryside around here that you know, you're riding down the road and you think, you know, this is a pretty area, and then all of a sudden you see a trash pile. Myself, I've stopped and got out and searched through something to try to find a name on it, and have a lot of times. And I firmly believe in prosecuting to the fullest extent of the law for that. There's no excuse for it. You go by any gas station, there's a trash can. You go home, put it in your trash. And I agree with Mr. Borden that, you know, it is a learned behavior. And it has to be addressed. At the same time, you know, some people's already learned all they're going to, and you're going to have to show them. The dump part, we need to be proactive right now, today, searching for a solution, the best solution for that. If it's extended, that's great. If it's shut it down, whatever the best solution is for that, that's what we need to be working toward right now.
And finally, I have no good segue to go into the next question, but y'all didn't give me anything, but animal control is still a major issue. It's something that the county does help to oversee. Do you have any ideas concerning that? And of course, a lot of people talk about dogs and such in the county, but what are your ideas in terms of animal control in the county?
Well, animal control, first of all, you'd have to have a money out of the county budget. You would probably work through the Humane Society. I don't know if the county has the resources to hire an animal control officer. In cases of wild dogs, vicious dogs, dog attacks, then the county law enforcement or the local city where that problem occurred, they would probably step in to handle that. But again, it's similar to the dumping. People own animals, but then they neglect to take care of that animal. They think a free roaming dog is the neighborhood dog. Well, a lot of the neighbors don't feel that way. If it were to become a very serious problem, then you have to look at possibly legislating or passing a law to govern stray animals. It's like I always tell people, if you own an elephant, keep the elephant in your yard. As long as he's in your yard, have no problem with the elephant. Same way with stray animals. But I hate to see animals that, like I said, you can take them to the Humane Society. May have to look at, in the county budget, maybe trying to give more to the Humane Society, because most all the Humane Society, they're overloaded now anyway, just from, maybe the county needs to step in and maybe start a neuter program. It's just different. We just have to really get down, bring in the people, discuss different ideas and see what we think would work or not work, and then try to come up with a solution.
Okay, Ms. Pate?
Yeah, I think that, it's sad when you can't walk down the road for exercise. You got dogs that want to run out there and eat you up. That shouldn't be going on. People need to be responsible for their dogs and control them. If they live in town or close to the road, they need to be chained up or put in a nice cage and took care of. They can be responsible. Now, way out in the country, farmland, you know, they might chase a cow or something, you know, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is.
I think the county should probably look into working with some of the animal placement, dog placement, rescue services groups that are around here. Of course, you can't go wrong with more funding. At the same time, the Humane Society, the last time I was by there, they were, you know, stretched to the max. Get everybody involved that can be involved with it. If what we're doing is not working, let's change it up. You know.
Mr. Miller?
Well, the county's got a shelter up at the landfill, and they spend a lot of money on it. And they've most of the people that brings their dogs in up there, they take them and either adopt them out or either have to put them to sleep. And they're doing that all the time. I mean, they've been doing that for the last about 6 years. Because whenever I was in there, we built that shelter up there, and it costs a lot of money. And that's one thing that helps the county keep a bunch of the dogs out of the county. If somebody calls, they get a group together and go get the dogs. I mean, they've done that for a long time.
And just to clarify, that would be at the inert landfill, not the Republic landfill, if somebody doesn't know.
It's one up, it's a Wolf County landfill.
Yeah, near Jasper,
Yeah.
Jasper area.
Yeah.
Mr. Pate, in many ways, commissioners sometimes get the brunt of criticism. Facebook.
Exactly.
although, in other areas, of course,
Yeah.
but although two of them seem to survive without opposition this year, to be fair, the District 3 Commissioner has stepped aside, of course. But what would you do, or all of you do, to improve your connections with the public, to make things more harmonious with your public, to be in connection and to please them, I guess is what I'm saying.
I gave a lot of thought to that, and Saturdays, I would like to get out and go, like somebody needed a cupboard put in or had problems, you know, go out and work and get out and talk to the people and let them know, you know, we are really trying, you know. And because there's a lot that's gonna have to be fixed. There's a lot of upset people out there. And it's gonna take a lot of hard work to do it, and I'm willing to get out there and go for it.
Mr. Richardson?
I think we've got to use the information superhighway, as people call it, internet. Facebook's a great place to start with. I have a plan in place to start a District 3 Facebook site, and let the people know, you know, we're going to be working here in this area. So if you're traveling that way to work, you can see them. It'll be used for safety as well. And having the people to be able to interact with that.
No?
I tell you, you're gonna have a tough skin whenever you take this job, because you're gonna get cussed out. You're gonna get everything. I mean, they'll call you every name in the book. Cause I done been through it. What I started doing is putting a recorder in the whenever I answer the phone. Well, I get that, and if they have a number on it to call them back, I call them back. If they don't, well, I go and see them whenever I can and talk to them and tell them, you know, what we're doing. We're trying to do the best job that we can, and you can't satisfy everybody. There's no way that you're going to satisfy everybody. I mean, you just have to do the best you can and take it on and let it run off of your back, cause if you don't, you gonna have to go to the asylum. 'Cause it's a rough job. I'm telling you now, it's tough.
Sir?
All right, on basically public relations with the public. Working with the fire department for 29 years, I've had a lot of exposure working for the public. Out campaigning, when I'm interviewing or asking for a citizen's vote, before I leave them with this. As a commissioner, I will work for you. You pay my salary. As a commissioner, I owe you the courtesy and the respect. If I go into office, I don't need to disappear. I don't need to avoid the citizens of the District 3. During the days while I'm out on the job, keeping a check on the crews, if I'm not in a commission meeting or have to be at the courthouse at the commission's office, I get my business taken care of at the county barn. My job will be out in the public during the day. I may not get by your neighborhood for 6 months or so, but I tell people I was man enough to come up and ask you for your vote. I'll be man enough to come up and ask your opinion. I may not can solve the problem for us, but I owe it to you as the voter to try to come to some type of understanding and give you the courtesy to express your opinion, but keep the people in the district up to date. If you begin to work on these ditches, all the things that we've been talking about, they're going to realize that this guy is trying to make a difference. Word spreads quick. But just be out in the communities. You ride by somebody's house, don't avoid them. I'm gonna pull in, get out and ask you how things are going. What kind of job am I doing? Engage with society. That's what they want. The ones that they'll tell me, you're the first one that's ever stopped and even asked for a vote. You're the first one that's even come to my house to ask my opinion. So just be engaging with them. We have all types of technologies that they can see the budgets. We want to be transparent, but there's face to face. It's hard to lie to a man looking him in the eye. And that's what I tell them. I want to be I'm not a thief and I'm not a liar. I'm working for you. I will do the best I can for our citizens.
And now, because the public does not want to see Ed Howell speak for another hour, we're going to hurry along now with some questions, and I'd like for particularly brief answers if we can, maybe a minute or less, but we need to move along to a conclusion. But there were some issues I did want to bring up. One is that whoever will win will inherit a district crew. What will you change in terms of personnel or operations generally with the district crew?
Personnel, from what I know of, we have 8 workers. I don't see how we can get by without 10. You know, we need at least 2 more.
At least hire a couple more.
At least.
Mr. Nunnelley?
Well, you got the budget calls for 11. You can hire as many as 11, but they only got 8. But that money that you save off of not hiring those people, you know, you can buy some gravel and stuff like that. But right now you got too many foremen and not enough workers. They need to be working.
Okay, Mr. Borden?
As a full-time commissioner, my job will be at the county barn in the morning. I want to unlock the gate for the men to come in. I want to utilize our hours in the day much better. We do not need to take longer lunch hours than necessary. We do not take breaks that we're not entitled to. We work for the citizens. Personnel management. If we work 8-hour day, or I would look at going to possibly, I think some of the other districts do a 4 or 10-hour day. Utilize the men, the equipment in a more efficient way, work more hours in that work day.
Okay. Right.
I think we need to go in down there and just tell them to forget everything they're doing and start over.
Start over.
Start
I
over.
agree with that.
The terms of law enforcement with the sheriff's department, of course, lots going on with that department over the past year or so, but what's y'all's, your take on, I think Mr. Richardson, your next, what's your take on law enforcement?
On the sheriff's department?
Sheriff's department and crime and because that was.
I think the sheriff's department's doing an excellent job. From what I can see and what I can tell about it, I think they're doing a great job. We need to work more with the sheriff's department and try to better them. That helps our community more than anything.
Okay.
Of course, on the sheriff's department, I mean, he's doing a good job, and he's spending his money right too, and he's spending it, getting his vehicles and stuff. But I think we need to work with the sheriff to get more prisoners out and cleaning up the sides of the road, because they're just sitting up there in the jail. So we need to get them out and get them to work.
Same thing on the budget. The sheriff's department, I am 100% behind our sheriff's department and our law enforcement. Not only that, our small towns, Oakman Parish, our communities. Budgets on sheriff's departments are all budgets from year to year. If there's money that can be cut, say money that's not going to be needed next year, we can cut money out of those budgets. If we need to add money the next year, we will add money back to his budget. But like equipment, cars, if the cars are budgeted this year, they're paid for, we don't need that much next year, we can work some of that back into the districts for the road repair. But I am 100% behind law enforcement. And as Mr. Nunnelley, we're all in agreement on this. If there's a way to get the prisoners out and do some of our garbage pickup, helping the districts, I'm all for it, 100%.
Yeah, I would say they're doing a good job. The inmates need to be coming out and going to work. There's a lot of garbage out there that needs to be cleaned up. At the last meeting, one of the guys said they picked up 1,450-gallon bags of garbage out of their district. 1,400. Yeah, District 1. Yeah. And they'll probably get 10,000 out of District 3.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah, trucks.
Thought that'd be the low number.
We'll have to open up a special dump site.
Yeah.
The software and technology have been a big thing. They've been doing a lot of improvements in the county, especially in the probate judge's office. They're also doing stuff with AT&T. What software, technology, or even maybe capital improvement projects would y'all maybe want to tackle?
Well, right now they're trying to get a software to pay the garbage bills, you know, through the internet and through that, and a lot of other things that save people from coming to town and saving them postage or, you know, a lot of stuff.
Under the taglines, things like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I think that's they're doing a good job. They got some good people working on it. The same guy that's working on it now, he was working on it when I was in there, and he's pretty sharp. He does a lot of good things.
Okay.
Well, on the technology, anything that makes it better for a citizen, we need to look at that. Anything that we can do to help in that regard. On our technology, you start getting into contracts with companies. They come in, provide the softwares, the inner workings of their programs. I've noticed some of them, they charge a fee to provide those services. That's something the county would really need to look at. Don't get to where you're giving more out in payment to receive that service than you're getting tax revenues coming in.
Last question, in general, specific question, industrial recruitment. We got to get jobs.
Yes, sir.
We're all in agreement about that, but I believe you were next. Tell us what y'all would do. Short answer, I'm afraid, but what can you tell me about getting more jobs?
All right, on the jobs, it goes back to what we've been talking about the last 30, 40 minutes. Our infrastructure, the appearance of our county, our roads, our schools, the trash, to attract outside business, even outside residents to come in to want to move into this county, to build a new home, pay property taxes. spend money in our local stores, even if they have to go to a surrounding county to work. We need to attract that in here. We really have to work on our county image outside the county. But by the cleaning our districts up, our roads, you can only have industry come in as you can keep up with the infrastructure. That would have to be, again, you just have to sit down with the groups and discuss and make long-term plans. It takes money to provide the infrastructure. But if we're bringing in, we don't sell our soul to the devil just to get somebody in. They need to contribute to the tax base.
Yeah, he's right. We gotta clean it up for anybody that wanna come in here and do anything, have any businesses, because there's a lot of businesses leaving. And people moving away. We just gotta clean it up and get it together.
Develop the infrastructure, that's great, and I'll, we've got to recruit the businesses here. I've been working in Birmingham for 21 years, and that's 2 hours out of every day that I don't get paid for, that I'm unproductive. And that's a bad thing to have to do that to make a better wage. We need to be out here recruiting businesses that would pay a livable wage, a good wage, to keep the people here.
You know, the best place to recruit people in District 3 is Cadova. They got the water, they got the highway, they got everything. I mean, all you got to do is just try to get industry to come in there. Whenever you do, then you're going to have jobs, you're going to have people living in there, and they're going to want to come there because it's just off of the interstate. I mean, it's just wide open for industry to come in if you can get the representative and other people to help you get industry in there.
Okay. We're going to now have a closing comments, and I appreciate all of you coming tonight. You've done a fantastic job, I think, giving your platforms tonight. Again, 2-3 minutes if you can give us a closing statement. And Mr. Borden, we had some problems with Mr. Boardman when we started out earlier. You'll get to go last, and you say what you want to, and we'll have all that squared away. We'll get you caught up, but we're going to get all of you caught up. Anything that you want to say that we haven't discussed about tonight, too, you're invited to speak on that. And we want all of you to have the final ability to get to any point that you'd like to make. And so we'll start with Mr. Pate.
All right, well, I'm asking everybody for your vote. Help me get in there. I'll work extra hard. I'll get out there on Saturdays and work on my time. If I know you need something done, if I can get to it, I'm gonna come and take care of the problem. And if you're mad or something, I wanna come sit down and talk to you. Just get everything back together right and everybody get along. And, you know, we're gonna do the best we can do. I know whoever gets that job is going to work hard trying to do it. But I'm just asking you for your vote. Give me a chance. Thank you.
That's Michael Pate. Mr. Jason Richardson.
I'm going to ask for your vote. I don't need this job. I want this job. I want to be the one to get the ship righted for more reasons than one. There's not anybody that will lace up a pair of boots that will work harder than I will. And give me a shot. Let's see what we can do.
I'll be done.
I'd appreciate everybody's vote. I've had the experience. I don't have to wait around. I can go right in and start doing what I'm supposed to do and fix it. Can't fix everything at one time, but you can start on them and get it organized where that we can get some stuff done that needs to be done. You know, a lot of people think that, well, you can just get money out of the county commission. Well, you can't. There's a lot of laws and stuff that you can't do with that money. I mean, it's designated, just like the gas tax. Well, it's done designated. I mean, we know what we're gonna get. The chairman knows exactly what he's gonna get every year. And so the state puts that out, and we can't get no more than what they're gonna give us.
Mr. Jim Borden.
Yes, I will be a full-time commissioner for the taxpayers of District 3. I will work 24 hours a day. I will be on call as your commissioner. I have a background in public service and I have a background in excavating work. I humbly ask the voters of District 3 for your vote come March the 3rd. If I am elected or get through the primary, I will go to work before I take office at the end of the year. I will have approximately 6 to 7 months to begin to work and learn and get my plan in place to be your commissioner in District 3. Thank you very much.
We want to thank the candidates for coming in tonight. I think y'all did wonderful. You said all the things we wanted to hear tonight on the issues. And we thank you for joining us. We hope that that this was useful to you, and we hope that we didn't mess up your evening too bad. We hope that it was useful, and we hope that you will now go out and vote. It doesn't do any good for any of this to happen unless you go out and vote on March 3rd from 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 at night. The polls will be open. And of course, the Daily Mountain Eagle will have coverage that night on our Facebook page. And we hope that you will join us that night as well to see the results. But again, go out and vote that night. And we thank our candidates again for coming out. Thank you for joining us.